everyone, it's me, baby Shaheen. Today I'll be talking about my capstone project about academic success in high school. So before I talk about the capstone project, here's a little bit about myself. So as I said, I'm baby Shaheen. I'm a recent graduate from Maryville University of St. Louis. I love using data to make smart business decisions. I'm expert in database analytics and Python programming. I'm strong in, I have strong skills in data management and analysis. I'm great at turning complex data into useful insights. I'm very clear communicator and good project manager. I enjoy working with different teams and learning from others. So this is just a little bit about myself. So my topic is to identify and evaluate key determinants of academic success in high school using the data set that I found online. So just a little bit about the academic success, like how it's very critical, basically that significantly impacts students' future opportunities, including the higher education and career prospects. Understanding those factors that contribute to academic achievement can help educators, policymakers, and parents develop effective strategies to support students' educational journeys. So this capstone project aims to explore and analyze the various determinants of high school students. My question is, how do extracurricular and parental involvement impact academic outcomes of a student? But before starting with this, I want to talk about Agile and Scrum. As as an Agile management, basically I started with like at Savvy Coders. I played a key role in Agile project management, serving as both Scrum Master and project owner. In my capacity as Scrum Master, I facilitated the Scrum framework, guiding the team through development processes and ensuring effective communication and collaboration. We had essential meetings like daily stand-ups, sprint planning sessions, and retrospectives to basically keep the team focused and productive. I also acted as a product owner, which I was like, responsible for defining the vision of the product and managing the product backlog. Um, so both of this allowed me to drive projects like, forward effectively and drive to deliver like high quality outcomes of within, collaborating with team members. So I really enjoy, like one of those daily stand-ups and retrospectives and changing like, how we should be like, be on track and keeping the team on track as well. So just a little bit about what I think the capstone project should lead to or should not. I mean, it's kind of like question and answer at the same time. So my thoughts related to this is number one is engaging in extracurricular activities can indeed have a positive impact on a student's overall well-being and academic performance. So it's kind of like answering the question, this is what it should be. Or on the second note is parental involvement in a student's education can positively influence their academic performance, including their GPA. So when the parents are actively engaged, it can lead to benefit of their child. But over involvement or pressure can actually lead to stress and burnout, which might negatively impact a student's performance. The key is supportive and constructive involvement that empowers students to take ownership of their own education. So that's what I really think. The key is supportive and constructive. It's not about like forcing the child, it's about like what they want to do in future. So my data set had 2,393 rows and 15 columns. So basically what I did was like looking through how the data should be changed or what I need to change. Here in Excel, so this one is the dirty data set, is basically the original where it just shows zeros and ones and there was like a huge decimal places. So what I did was like change those ones and zeros into actually what it should be. Um, so the ones were the males and the ones were the females and the zero were the males. Same thing with like, you know, 0 and 2. So they had different numbers that shows like the different ethnicity. And the parental education showed like different high school, college, or, you know, etc. like that. Um, Same thing, including the tutoring, the parental support, the extracurricular activities, the sports, and the music. It's all like, you know, basically changing all the zeros and ones into what a data should look like. So I started using the Python and pandas to change those data sets. And I'll obviously use the coding such as like, you know, naming those like actually bringing the file excuse me, bringing the file and then replacing those genders, the ethnicity, and you know the parental support, study time, changing the study time and the GPA into like two decimal places. I changed those into like, you know, a whole number because I thought this would be really huge with the study time, but the GPA changed those into two decimal places. Moreover, with Excel, basically, like I saw all my data and I used this coding and everything with using the Python, the Pandas, the Jupyter notebooks, and MATLAB to develop a graph. I only made one graph because it was kind of a little bit I was kind of confused on how to make it, but I tried and I actually developed one using the absences versus the GPA. The trend is going down because the more absences, the less GPA. And that's how it is. It should be like that. The more absences, the lower the GPA. So with these graphs, let's look at the left one, study time versus the GPA. So these results indicate the average study time and the GPA, which are relatively similar across different ethnicity groups, with like, you know, slight variation in both study time and GPA. Um, the results show that the average time and the GPA are quite like, you know, similar across these different ethnicity groups, with only like, you know, smaller differences. So this really suggests that the factors like socio-economic status, parental education, and access to like resources might be more important in study habits and GPA rather than just like ethnicity alone. So even though there's like a slight differences, there could be a reflective on like cultural attitudes towards education, level of parental support, and like the quality of educational resources available to each of those groups. So those are like, you know, the probably the way how each ethnicity are like, you know, having those different availability of resources. So overall, the narrow range of you know, study times in the GPA across those suggests that the students, regardless of like the ethnicity, are studying about the same amount and achieving similar study results. So it kind of indicates that the education system and like its expectations are likely applied to equally to all the students. Let's look at the graph on the right, both of them. So this one kind of shows on the top It's just showing the males and the females and how like those grades are with the count of student ID on the left. So I'm kind of shocked about these getting F, but I think it just depends on how the data set is that I found online, and you can't really do anything with those because it's just the original data is original data, and you can't change those data sets. Um, but the graph on the bottom here shows that students whose parents have higher level of educations like college degrees tend to have like a higher education, a higher degree, and higher GPAs. This is likely because the education, like the parents who are educated, can provide better academic support and resources at home. So it kind of indicates that tutoring significantly boosts students' GPA across all levels of parental education, regardless of whether a student's parents have a high school degree or high school diploma or a graduate degree. Receiving tutoring help improves their GPA. So overall, in summary, the data shows that the academic performance and the study habits are influenced more by universal factors rather than just like the ethnicity or just like the GPA. It's just how the parents, how you're getting the support from the others. Let's go to the next slide. Here I'm talking about extracurricular activities by the parental support. So these graph relates to the table, the graph here. Um, so I took like one of those box from the nose and a box from the yes very high. So very high box and the none with the no. So this one shows the no, which is like the number of students had lower grades because they were not going to like extracurricular activities. They weren't studying, they weren't really doing anything. So obviously their grade will be low and they won't receive a higher GPA versus the number with like the higher GPAs. And there is, yes, of course, I see the failing is high too, but it depends on how you're studying. It depends on how much you're taking the time to really focus on the subject or really getting into the matter of like getting those grades higher in the GPA as well. So it kind of goes into your own study habits and the hours that even if you're studying 20 hours and you're not getting anything, you're not gonna get a higher grade. You're still gonna get a lower grade. It just depends on like how you're taking the time and how much you're studying and how much extracurricular activities you're doing at home or somewhere out and volunteering and doing like stuff that really gives you the opportunity to focus on the career and to look into the future instead of just like, oh, okay, so my future is nothing and you're not doing anything. So it really depends on how your brain is working and your how like you're going through everything within your study habits. So this is my last slide. The challenges and obstacles. So I really did not like know what type of data set I needed to use before like even I did have like the obviously I looked through like so many data sets and everything to see which one I want to do, but I was kind of confused at times. So really didn't understand the format of it, and I was kind of just going through everything. It was a struggle for me. Um, it started in like I kind of had to study like the own topic, and so I thought like academic and parenthood kind of relates to me because my parents support me, and if they did never supported me, I wouldn't have gotten to like this opportunity to learn to get into this. With the coding challenge, I actually did drop some of the columns and realized that I shouldn't have done that. dropping those were like actually took away my main data set, and it was kind of a difficult way of me, my personal thing to understand like how it's to go forward with this. So I had to like take those back, to bring those back. Um, and savvy coders, I would say, were like one of those really good communicators and really good. I guess for me, as of like as a student, it was for me personally, it was harder to like learn before I even got to savvy coders, and I really enjoyed savvy coders. They were really nice. They had I had the opportunity to actually look into my future. They provided me with like different details, with different like opportunities to learn, to grow my future, to actually go forward with like what I'm really passionate about. And I enjoyed this course. It was really good. They helped me a lot. They actually made me know what I'm passionate about, what I need to go through, like, what challenges that I actually took. And there were solutions to them. And they were really nice, and I really enjoyed. Really had the opportunity to look through Savicures as one of my future way of developing my careers actually. And it was nice having them and that I took them. Thank you so much for watching my capstone project.